We're taking a look at understanding dependency and functions. So the first thing that we are going to look at is what exactly dependency is. So in order to do that, we're going to do a few identifying exercises. We're going to underline the dependent variable, and then we're going to circle the independent variable. Now the first sentence we're going to look at is, in order to cook a meal, you have to go to the grocery store first. That means cooking the meal depends on going to the grocery store. Thus, cooking the meal is the dependent variable, and going to the grocery store is the independent variable. So keep in mind, we're going to underline the dependent variable, which is cooking a meal. And we're going to circle the independent variable, go to the grocery store. In the following exercises, we are going to identify the dependent and independent variable. So once again, you're going to underline the dependent variable, and that depends on the completion of the independent variable. So we have numbers of hours worked and money earned. Now, how much money you earn depends on how many hours you work. So money earned is our dependent variable, hours worked is our independent variable. The speed of a car and how far the driver pushes down the gas pedal. Now the speed of the car depends on how far the driver pushes down the gas pedal. So our dependent variable is the speed of the car. Our independent variable is how far the driver pushes down on the gas pedal. So that's our introduction to dependency. So once again, your dependent variable depends on your independent variable happening or the completion of it. Now we're going to step that up to some word problems. So we're told you drain a 200-gallon aquarium at a constant rate of 20 gallons per minute. So once again here, we're going to identify the independent quantity and our dependent quantity. So here, our independent quantity is going to be our time, which more specifically for this example is going to be the minutes. Now, one thing to keep in mind, time is independent of any event. So when you have time as a quantity or as a variable, that is going to be your independent quantity. Now, the quantity that's dependent on the time is how much we drain. So it's that water that we're draining out, which our units here are in gallons. So the amount of water from the aquarium drained is dependent on how much time overlaps of it being drained. Our C rests a hydraulic graph showing the independent quantity on the x-axis. So when we graph, our independent quantity is going to be on the x-axis. It's showing it's independent. And it's also labeled here as our minutes. Once again, time will be your x-axis. And our dependent quantity is going to be on the y-axis, which is going to be the gallons. Now we initially start at 0 minutes. And when we initially start at 0 minutes, we have 200 gallons of water. So at the 200 mark, we're going to draw a dot. Now we're decreasing at a constant rate of gallons per minute. So after a minute, the aquarium is now 180 gallons. After 2 minutes, the aquarium is now 160 gallons. After 3 minutes, the aquarium is 140 gallons. Now, one thing to keep in mind, these are referring to the points right above it. So we can draw that line continuing down. So after 10 minutes, the aquarium will be completely empty. Now here we're asked what is the slope, and make sure to include units in our answer. So the slope is negative 20. Keep in mind it's negative since we're draining, we're losing 20 gallons per minute. 20 gallons per minute. Or we can express that as negative 20 gallons per minute. So a different way to express that ratio. All right, the next problem, I want you to pause and I want you to complete on your own, and then we will go over it. So here you drain a 20-gallon aquarium at a constant rate of 4 gallons per minute. So pause, and when you're done, hit play. All right, welcome back. We're looking at what is the independent quantity. Our independent quantity here is our time. And once again, that's going to be in minutes. Once again, time will always be your independent quantity. Our dependent quantity is the water, so gallons, because the number of water lost in gallons depends on how much time has elapsed or how much time has passed. Now to draw the graph, we start at 20 gallons and we're decreasing at a rate of 4 gallons per minute. So we're going down 4 units for each minute. So 4 gallons of water for each minute, 4 gallons for each minute, 4 gallons for each minute, 4 gallons for each minute. Oops. Hopefully yours looks better than mine does. All right, what is the slope? Our slope here is -4 gallons per minute. So or we could express that as -4 gallons per minute. And that is our introduction to dependency and functions. Hope you have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.